Hey everybody, and welcome once again to the wide world of Katawa Shoujo. I have something very special to share with you Chaos Fanatics today. A big thanks to Zadix who provided me the beta version of this amazing visual novel. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, man, I'm not very good with them. Anyways, now I get to share with you all a brand new version of Hanako's good path towards the true ending. You will notice differences in Hanako's behavior, in addition to seeing new scenery, reading new dialogue, and hearing slightly different music in some spots. Also, revelations are made. I know my good buddies Neo, Mega Man, and Cast Chaos will be very thrilled and excited to see these new sequences play out. Buckle down, folks, and get ready for the feels again. Whee! Into Act 4 decision of Hanako's new path here. A note from the editor. Yeah, we're not going to read this note. But yeah, checking out this beta route of Hanako's path should be very interesting. A lot of differences. True good ending. Yeah, we do not want to witness the bad. Hanako's bad endings are very, very, very dark, grim, and evil. So yeah, we're not going there. The case of the Hanako true route or Hanako's singular good ending. Yeah, I'm going to reserve my vocals for the actual game. I'll just speed through this. You guys can pause and read it if you want. Events leading up to the true ending. This is what I'll read. The trio celebrates Lily's birthday at Hisao's dorm, where he gives her a music box that he bought from the antique store. In a similar vein as the party scene in the final version of the route, they have a visitor and get drunk before the night is over. However, Akira isn't the one that provides the drinks. Instead, Yuko shows up with the wine and nearly gets caught in the process. Now that I could totally see happening. Lily visits the hospital for an operation after she contracts tonsillitis, removing her from school for a 1 to 2 week period. This causes Hisao and Hanako to spend substantial amounts of time together. Hanako begins to grow slightly more confident over time, somewhat unlike her breakdowns and seclusion in her final route. The act begins a few days after Lily's initial hospitalization. Hisao is studying in his room after a few days of restlessness. And here we go. I look up from the textbook in front of me with lifeless eyes. Two bets who that could be. Hold on, I'm coming. I turn and walk to the door, running a hand through my messy hair to try and make myself look somewhat presentable. With a familiar clank, the door opens to a familiar figure. Hey, Kenji. Hey, whoa! I look up at him through a lowered brow. Huh? Jesus, man, you look like shit! Thanks, I try my best. His eyes narrow. Oh god, here we go. Man, have you been eating from the cafeteria? Huh? No, I haven't. Good, good. I see you're aware of their foothold there, then. There? The Feminist Legion? I should have guessed. Okay, this is good. They haven't got to... Wait, no, this is bad! Damn, man, this is really bad! Do you know how bad this is? No, I do not. It's bad, man. Real bad. This means their influence is extended outside the school. Where'd you get your meals from, dude? Auramart. Auramart. Right, that makes sense. It looks like my predictions are proving right, though they're moving faster than I expected. Things are moving fast. Too fast. What the hell are you on about? They're poisoning you, man. They're poisoning you, me, and any man that eats food that they control the making of. These are dark days. Thank God for my cash. They're poisoning men, but not women. Yeah, man, it's all part of their plan. Get rid of the guys and they'll be free to lord over anyone left in the wake. He suddenly sinks into deep thought, seemingly forgetting my presence. It looks like they made unexpected headway into the gender-targeting toxins. Damn, I need to come up with a plan. We need to come up with a plan. Kenji. Yeah? I'm not in the mood for this shit. Silence. It's probably the first silence I've ever had around Kenji. Sorry, I'm just tired. Yeah, you look it. What'd you come here for, anyway? Just returning that book you gave me. Book? My gaze shifts to his hand, a hitherto unnoticed thick textbook clutched by it. The one I lent you. Yeah, here, man. Thanks for the lend. Nah, it's nothing. With that, he hands me the heavy book. The weight of it's enough to make me momentarily lower it in surprise. Anything else? Nah, man, I'm good. You, though, need to lay off the food for a while. It takes a second for me to click exactly what he means. Damn it, Kenji. Thanks, I'll be sure to. See you. With that, the door closes. Great. Now I'm taking out my lack of sleep on other people. Come on, you could do better than this, Hisao. I've rubbed my eyes in frustration as I lay the book on the desk and check the clock next to my bed. 10 in the morning. I suppose the hospital visiting hours would have started by now. I stand outside the hospital room door. I hear a muffled conversation from inside. Leaning in and making sure to stay dead silent, I try to work out who it is. Hanako. I guess it makes sense for her to visit as soon as she could. I gently open the door and take a quick glance inside. Sure enough, Hanako's sitting beside Lily. Morning, Hanako. Lily.
Ah, good morning, Hisao.
She seems much more spiritly today, though her voice is incredibly quiet. The sight of her happy face all but removes the irritation of earlier this morning. As Hanako gives a polite nod, I lean against the wall next to her. How are you feeling today?
A fair bit better. She should be out in a week, the doctor said.
Hanako expertly takes over as Lily rests her throat. I guess speaking must still be painful for her. Ah, that's good. Surgery go well? She gives a silent nod, seizing on the opportunity to give an answer without using her voice.
Did it hurt? Well, I'd be lying if I said it didn't.
The statement causes Hanako to lower her head in silence.
It didn't hurt that much, though. After a few hours, there wasn't much pain.
Hanako lifts her head slightly, but still looks downtrodden. It's all too obvious Lily's downplaying it, and covering up her accidentally honest reply. Heard from Hanako about what's been going on in the school so far?
She's given me quite a good report.
Something about her tone of voice as she says it doesn't quite sound right. So that's it. Hey, Hanako? Would you be able to grab a couple of drinks from the shop downstairs?
Sure. I'll go get them.
With that, she stands and leaves the room. I slump into the seat she'd occupied next to the bed, thankful for a chance to rest my legs.
Thank you, Hisao.
No problem. What's on your mind?
How have you and Hanako been doing?
How have we been doing?
I'm worried about her. I wanted to ask you, as I don't think she would give a truthful answer. I need you to take care of her while I can't.
Even as she says it, her face is one of concern. I smile deeply. I'll take good care of her. As she grins, her smile matches mine.
Thank you, Hisao.
It's nothing. I'm surprised by how well she's been coping.
It's thanks to you, Hisao.
I still don't think I helped that much. She shakes her head gently.
You've been everything you could be for her. Thank you.
I blush slightly and turn away in embarrassment. I wasn't trying or anything. She giggles lightly.
Nonetheless, even without trying, you've been there for her. I'm glad.
With that, our conversation drifts to trivialities of the day. School, lunch, visiting. To be able to enjoy such small talk with her. If only I were able to do the same thing with Hanako. It doesn't take long before the door opens with the girl herself coming in through. With the cans of soda precariously held in her arms, I quickly get off the chair and move over to free her of them.
Thank you, Hanako.
Yeah, thanks, Hanako. She vigorously shakes her head from side to side.
It's okay.
With that, she returns to her seat. I quietly sip from the can as I watch Hanako and Lily talking. She does seem to be coping well. Maybe Lily had a point. And now we enter more unknown territory. We enter a brand new Act 4. Heroic Strings. Guest artwork, some dude. Good job, some dude. Anyways, as another of Muto's droning lectures comes to a close, the class sighs in relief. Lunchtime. A symbol of freedom and liberty for every high school student across the nation. I grab my bag from the side of the desk and swing it up to shove the lesson sheets inside. As I look at the top sheet before putting it in, the foreboding text at the top beckons. Exam revision sheet number 3, The Laws of Thermodynamics. In contrast to Muto's scruffy and barely legible handwriting, it's clearly printed from a word processor. That alone's enough to see as mandatory revision work as opposed to his usual teaching material. The sheet's text also lacks his penchant for extremely Spartan sentence structures. He's a scientist, alright. But then again, I have to wonder why the hell he's a teacher and not a researcher. It's pretty obvious he's not exactly the best for the job. Well, such are the mysteries of life, I suppose. As I slot in one sheet after another, I pause as I suddenly hear my name from the other side of the room. Looking over to the door, I see two girls talking, with one pointing directly at me. The one pointing's a girl from our class, a tomboyish and athletic black-haired girl called Miki, who accidentally lost her hand thanks to her father's power tools. Well, that explains the nub at the end of her hand. See? That's one revelation made. I shudder slightly. That's one conversation I wish I hadn't overheard. The other, though, I've never seen before. She looks small with dark brown twin-braided hair and seems quite pretty. From the fact that she doesn't look to have anything wrong with her and was talking to Miki, she must either be an interpreter or blind. I leave my bag on the desk and walk over to the two at the door. Ah, here he is. You want me?
Are you,
Hisao, the guy you once called Hisao. Yeah, that's me.
Would you be able to give this to Sato for Class 3-3?
She holds up a small stuffed teddy bear. Judging by the fact that her face hardly moves at all as I take it, I guess she must be blind. I hold it in my hands and quickly examine it. Soft and fluffy, the stiff joints make it seem closer to a collector's item than a plaything. Though, considering what Lily's personality is like, it seems like the perfect present. Damn it! Looks like I owe you 5 then. I look up from the bear to her.
You never saw it?
Yep, she's blind. Even as she talks to Miki, her head doesn't move. Seeing her act like this reminds me of just how much practice Lily must put into making her mannerisms appear normal. Hey, don't blame me for not being a social butterfly. The track club's not a social party, you know. What's going on? Huh? She suddenly looks over, seemingly forgetting the fact that I could hear her. Oh yeah, me and Aoi had a little bet. She looks sharply at the other girl, putting her only hand on her hip. Which I lost. Aoi's face becomes pained. I never said you had to pay up right now. I'm still lost here.
We kinda made a bet about whether you and Lily were dating.
You've gotta be kidding me.
Quite the Casanova, aren't you?
Hey, don't get the wrong idea here. I'm not going out with her.
What?
Haha, looks like I'm rich. She proudly puffs out her chest as the other pouts. It doesn't take a genius to see who bet either way. Fine, I'll take the card to her.
Thanks, Hisao.
With that, the two leave the room. Even from inside, I can hear the laughter and protesting between them. As I grab my bag and carefully slip the card inside, an unwelcome voice rings out from behind me.
He-chan!
Hey Misha Shizune. As I turn around to meet them, I give a small wave to Shizune with my free hand.
We heard what happened, He-chan.
I'd be surprised if the student council hadn't. Practically the entire school has by now. She looks up in thought, bringing her finger to her chin to exaggerate the point.
You do have a point.
Shizune reaches forward and taps her on the shoulder twice to grab her attention.
What is it, Shi-chan?
Shizune starts to sign, but once she's finished, Misha starts to sign back. Interpretation isn't meant to work this way, I'm sure of it. The two seem to have a comfortable chat as I stand patiently waiting, though that's only a guess at what they're saying. For all I know, they could be planning like, no, not that! Damn it, Kenji! Get out of my mind! As I rough my hair in frustration, Misha pauses and looks over. I guess she misinterpreted it as frustration at her.
Shi-chan says...
She brings her hand to her mouth and clears her throat in the most formal manner she can summon.
The student council wishes to extend their best wishes for Lily Seto's quick recovery, and are prepared to help you as far as our duties allow.
Once she's finished, she looks sideways to Shizune. An affirmative nod. I guess their talk was a negotiation about the wording of their, for a lack of a better term, press release. Thanks, you two. It's good to know I can depend on you.
How could we call ourselves the student council if we couldn't support the students, He-chan?
Yeah, you've got a point. Still, thanks. Both of you.
No problem. Shi-chan and I had better be off, though. See you later, He-chan!
See ya. With that, they move to Shizune's desk to fish out some books. What to do, what to do. I'm not exactly overly hungry, and a quick glance at Hanako's desk is all that's needed to see that she's left. Well, the library's as good as anywhere, I suppose. I exit the classroom along with the last of the students and enter the hall. Walking along, I glance out the window. A blue sky, punctuated by the occasional cloud. The temperature's quite nice, too.
Out of the way! Out of the way!
Huh? As I look back, the scene plays out as if it were a sequence of still frames. A boy in a wheelchair is moving, careening along the hall. I see that, unfortunately, I seem to be the only one who hasn't moved out of his way. His face changes from one of determination to one of panic. He opens his mouth to yell, but is too late. He slams into me at full speed, sending me flying sideways, and his wheelchair swinging around to a sliding halt. Shit! 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 I open my eyes as I prop myself up with my arms.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry! Are you alright?
I look up and back to the classroom I exited not long ago. Misha stands there, a worried look on her face. I move my hand up and wave away her concern with a grin. I'm fine, no harm done. As I say it, I notice a movement out of the corner of my eye. Following it, I see Shizune striding up to the wheeled bandit. All I could do is grimace in anticipation of what's to come. He looks from me to her and instantly looks stricken with fear. Looks like she has a reputation. She steps up to him confidently and crosses her arms. Uh-oh. Seconds pass. I didn't mean to... Without warning, she steps behind his wheelchair and latches onto the handles with an iron grip. Oh no. And just like that, she starts to wheel him away. Hey! What are you doing? Hey, hold on! All I could do is look on with a bemused expression. He's screwed, isn't he? Misha grins wildly. Don't tell me she secretly enjoys Shizune doing this. Go easy on him, will ya?
I'm not sure I could do that, He-chan. Once He-chan sets her mind on something, she's very stubborn.
While I don't doubt her claim one bit, I can't help but notice a distinct lack of regret about it.
Need a hand?
I suddenly realize I'm still on the floor, propping myself up with an arm. Yeah, thanks. She reaches out a hand which I clasp in mine and lever myself up with. She has a surprisingly strong grip given her looks. Thanks.
No problem.
And with that, she merrily walks off down the hall after Shizune. Still more than a bit dazed, I begin my journey to the library anew. Inside the library is the regular hub of busy activity. Students are furiously sleeping on desks, the wind ripping through unattended books, The noisy hum of students snoring is near constant. A regular academic success story. Glancing through the shelves, though, I see Hanako at one of the small square tables. Considering its placement at the very back corner of the library, I'm surprised I even managed to catch sight of her. As I casually stroll up, I see her reading a book placed flat on the surface, her left hand both hiding her face and holding her hair back. Hey! She looks up with a look of fright on her face, the tension evaporating as she catches sight of me.
Ah, Kiso.
Hey, don't sound too enthusiastic now.
Sorry, I was just reading, and I...
As she looks away in shame, I fall into a seat opposite her. Don't worry about it. What's the book?
Oh, it's, Dune.
Dune, huh? Of all the genres I think her to read, sci-fi's pretty low down the list. I rock on the back legs of the chair as I stare at the ceiling. The shadows on the stucco ceiling are surprisingly interesting to examine. Time passes as I look closely at the roof above out of sheer boredom. As I do, though, I find myself listening for the sound of Hanako's book. Or rather, the lack thereof. Not a single page has been turned since I started listening. I stop swinging for a second and look downwards. Hanako? She keeps her face pinned to the page, only shifting her eyes upwards. It doesn't take much effort to see what she's feeling. She's been attached to me like a third arm these past few days. Hey, Hanako? She looks up, a pensive look on her face. I'll take good care of her. I look into those shy eyes of hers. I know what I have to do. Want to go outside for a bit?
Outside?
Yeah, some fresh air wouldn't hurt, would it? I give a mischievous grin and stand from the chair. Before she can say a word, I take her hand, her face suddenly becoming a mixture of surprise and embarrassment.
Hisa?
I give a deep bow as I look to her, drawing the gazes of a few passing students. Shall we take our leave? Flustered, Hanako closes her book and clumsily stuffs it into her bag, all the while staring at me with a shocked expression.
Sure.
Shouldering her bag, she pulls herself up, putting ever the slightest strain on my hand in the process. I smile at her, gently causing her blush to deepen, yet her eyes stay fixed on me. By this time, all activity around us has stopped, everyone taking in this absurd scene straight from every romance novel ever. I have to give her a slight tug to start her walking. Come on, let's go get that air. Still dazed, Hanako follows me out of the library. Whoa! Whoa! Lights flash and sirens blare as we pass through the library's systematic doors. Hanako's shocked expression turns into one of terror as she realizes that it was her that caused this calamity. The librarian eyes her curiously as she runs to the loans desk and opens her bag.
I'm sorry, I forgot I had it, I'm sorry.
The librarian smiles in a delicate manner, collects the book from the pile of Hanako's notebooks, and scans it into the system.
You take care now. Well, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
Hanako packs her bag hurriedly, simply scooping the pile of books and stationery into the maw of her open school bag. Alright, I think we've caused as much calamity as possible. Let's leave these poor people in peace. Dejected, Hanako fixes her gaze firmly on the ground and follows me out of the library. We wander aimlessly, drifting from the main building towards the gardens behind the Great Hall. Along the way, I gather 2 cans of iced tea and hand one to the still smarting Hanako. Here, this'll take your mind off things. Nothing like a bit of tea to calm down the mind.
Thanks.
It doesn't take a genius to tell that she's still distracted. I sit down on a nearby bench and Hanako silently copies me, carefully balancing her school bag against the bench before opening her can. Lily's pretty strong, you know. She'll be up and about in no time. It was only a minor operation. She'll be back before we know it. Hanako runs her finger around the can's rim slowly, gazing into it as if it held all of the answers to life's questions.
I know all that. But I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do.
Eh? What do you mean? The finger stops in its travel, but remains pressed firmly against the can.
If it were one of us in that bed, don't you think Lily would be doing something?
I can't say I'm following you here. Hanako sighs and takes a sip of her tea.
I don't think I am either. I just want to do something for her, but I can't. I feel powerless.
Her words flow forth on a river of melancholy, but there are undercurrents of something else. Determination? That has to be it. Beneath Hanako's obvious lamenting, there is a driving force carrying immense power. In an instant, my vision of Hanako is shattered and rebuilt. She truly cares for Lily and wants to help her out. No matter what. The timid Hanako disappears completely from my mind like the thin veil that it is. And with that being said, folks, we're going to cut it off here, so stay tuned for Let's Play Katawa Shoujo, Hanako's Beta Path or Route, Part 2, when we will continue this brand new true ending of Hanako's path. We'll see where it takes us. Anyways, see you then, peoples!